what we see on YouTube Learning itself is that we are really empowering our learners by bringing them active mastery features. We're really enabling creators to go deeper and create rich experience for their learners and giving them new tools and features to do that. And then the third thing we're doing is creating these impactful partnerships, including with very local institutions and edtech partners, to bring the best of learning to these different areas throughout the world, and in particular India here. Been part of YouTube now for 3 years, and it's been incredible to see YouTube Learning flourish within the home of the rest of YouTube. So it is the same platform, the same YouTube that all of everyone around the world loves. And what we see on YouTube Learning itself is that we are really empowering our learners by bringing them active mastery features. We're really enabling creators to go deeper and create rich experience for their learners and giving them new tools and features to do that. And then the third thing we're doing is creating these impactful partnerships, including with very local institutions and edtech partners, to bring the best of learning to these different areas throughout the world, and in particular India here. And we see that in the user base, that there's a lot of learners throughout India, whether it's studying in grade school, standard grade curriculums in order to understand their classes, get ahead on the national exams, the JEE and the NEET exams, or doing professional learning later in life, either as part of their university training or later, and learning new skills. And we see that across a range of creators. So, for example, Roshni Mukherjee left a job to go teach on YouTube and brings her knowledge across a wide range of subjects, whether it's math or science, especially to girls all across the country. So that is a great example. We were just here, we were meeting with another creator, for example, who is able to bring his knowledge about farming to people who need to understand farming. And so we see this across a wide spectrum of users throughout India. When I came on board, one of the big changes we started focusing on is not just sitting back watching a video, but really much more active engagement with that content. So, for example, being able to take quizzes. And so now creators can create quizzes about the topics that they're covering in videos and further engage their audience. We're also using artificial intelligence to generate practice problems that can live directly on the video itself. So AI quizzes that enhance the learning. We understand the concepts that are talked about in a video and can tie those together and think about how the creator talks about that content in the video, and then expose that to a user, connecting it with the knowledge that we have in the Google Knowledge Graph. And so those are just some of the ways we've enhanced creators' ability to reach out to these students and really ensure that the students are able to get an even greater ability to learn on the YouTube platform. So we work very closely with our creator community. They are really what makes YouTube, YouTube. And we have been working hard within the YouTube Learning Group to ensure that the learning and education creators have new tools, both to better teach their audience and to make more money. So a few different examples of that. So we launched a courses marketplace. On courses, creators are able to make money in two ways. They can keep their course free and make money via advertising, which is how YouTube traditionally has worked. And they can continue to do that, as well as making money through all the other means that YouTube has always enabled. So individuals can give creators individual payments via super thanks, can join channel membership, things of that nature. But then with courses, not only can you do all of that, you also now have the ability to do paid courses. And so you can get a one-time payment for that course and that content that you might have thought about putting off platform to get a payment. Now you can actually do that directly on YouTube. So that's one example. Another thing we've done is when YouTube shows up in schools, it's much better if YouTube shows up in schools without advertisement and without distractions and with even less understanding of who that user is and more stringent controls around privacy. And so we've developed Player for Education that enables us to go sell access to YouTube to edtechs. They are then able to put that into their product and deliver it to schools in a safe and responsible way. But then they pay us, and so we are able to distribute that payment to creators. And so those are just two examples of the ways that we're really ensuring that creators can make a strong living off of what they're doing within YouTube. And then the third thing I'll say is we're also creating new tools for these creators. So we have a new tool at YouTube called Create that allows for creation of videos, both long and short form, directly from your phone. And that's something we launched in India right away. And it was one of our first markets for that to launch. Similar to the way we launched courses, India was also one of our first markets there. Overall at YouTube, our number one priority, and this is literally in every presentation that Neil Mohan ever gives within our CEO of YouTube ever gives, we start with responsibility. And that really does extend to everything we do. And I've seen that in every conversation I have at YouTube around the type of content that gets recommended, how we ensure that teenagers don't see a lot of bad behavior on YouTube. And we really want to make sure that to the extent possible, that YouTube is promoting the content that will enable especially younger learners to ensure they make good choices in life. And whether that's on healthy habits, whether that's on their education, whether it's on economic opportunity. We really want to be, in general, a force for good there and make sure that right content is getting out and that we do not encourage bad behavior. So that's something, just as an example to your point around the social catharsis, that we are really trying to do across all of YouTube. A lot of people learn the same way. The science of learning is the same. We're all human beings. Those scientific principles have been proven all across the world around active learning and mastery learning. So a lot of the work we're doing on the product side is relatively generic across the entire world and works across India, US, and every other country. And that's, a really amazing part of YouTube, being able to, I explain my job as I get to help teach the world. And really enabling creators to do that teaching. What's particular about India is the incredible scale and diversity. And it's such a young population. The median age is only 28. And how to harness that power and be able to help students, again, through that grade school curriculum and exam prep, that's something that's very different than the United States. There's a much, much more standardized curriculum in the standardized exam preps. We see that there's a lot more leaning into live courses is something that's different in India. And then the third thing is we've been able to develop partnerships with the Indian government, particularly in the realms of AI and skilling, in order to bring content that is unique to India to Indians. So, for example, back in October, we announced AI Skill House with the Indian government and a promise to skill 10 million Indians in AI based on the work that we're doing on YouTube, and then you can go and get a certificate on another Google product. And so those are just some of the examples of where we see similarity, but also some difference And just, I think the last part that I'll just call out is obviously the many different languages throughout India is something that is unique. So we have creators like Kaizen English that uses everyday conversations, catchphrases, descriptions of household objects, and she's then able to teach people to speak English based on all of that. And that's just one example of many creators who teach English as a second language. Is another area that we see is very large group of creators doing that throughout India.